the corruption of scholars. إن من أشراط الساعة ثلاثا إحداهن أن يلتمس العلم عند الأصاغر. Abdullah ibn Mubarak is narrating that one of the signs of the Day of Judgment is that knowledge will be sought from al-Asagir. Al-Asagir means the small ones. Abdullah ibn Mubarak defines the small ones. He says, the small ones does not mean students of knowledge who are studying from their elders, but it means Ahl al-Bid'ah, the ones who are following Bid'ah and the ones who are following their desires and the ones who are using Sharia for their own interests. So it doesn't mean that all of the ulama will be corrupt. No, that will not happen in this ummah. Again, there will always be people who are on the straight path. But the time will come when the people will go to search knowledge, not from the righteous knowledge, scholars, but the people will go and try to learn from the ones who are misleading. So it's a matter of choice for the people. The people are choosing to learn the scholar from the ones who are not really scholars. They are following them maybe because they're famous, maybe because they know how to speak. It could be for various reasons. While the true scholars are obscure. An example of that is what happened when Musa a.s. left Bani Israel. He appointed his brother Harun to be in his place. So Harun was the leader of Bani Israel in the absence of Musa. Samiri, a very charismatic figure, brought all of the gold and he made out of it a calf, and it was hollow, so when wind would come in from one side it would whistle, and he made the people think that this is the speaking of the gods. And in very eloquent speeches he was able to convince Bani Israel to worship the calf. So even though Harun a.s. was among Bani Israel, Samiri was able to pull the rugs from beneath him and to sway Bani Israel into following him, because he was such a charismatic figure. And he knew how to play with words and to fool the people. So it doesn't mean that there's nobody who's learned. The most learned person was there. It was Harun a.s. who was a Nabi of Allah. But even though he was there, people left Harun a.s. and went to listen to the liar. So it's the people. There was an illness in the hearts of the people, and they felt compatible with what Samiri was saying. What Samiri was saying was more appealing to them because that's how the hearts are. The hearts are compatible. Rasulullah says that al-arwah junud mujannada. The souls are people, are like soldiers, and like-minded would come together. So birds of the same feather would flock together. And this is what is happening here. The souls of Bani Israel were more compatible with Samiri, and they left Harun a.s. And the same thing would happen today and tomorrow. So don't take the popularity of a scholar as being the gauge of his knowledge. That was never the case and will never be the case. To measure or to gauge a true scholar is to compare what that person says with what is in Qur'an and Hadith, and to see how they act in tests. And there are some people who, when faced with the trials, were firm like mountains, even though their knowledge was little. And there are some people who memorize books, but they failed at the first test. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, he wasn't the only scholar in his time. There were many scholars. That was the golden age of scholarship in Islam. But how come we remember Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal and we forgot many of the others? Because Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal was firm in the fitna, while many others failed. Many others gave in. How come we remember Al-Izz bin Abd al-Salam out of all of the many scholars that lived in his time? How come we remember Ibn Taymiyyah, while there are many scholars living in his era? It's not only because of their knowledge, it's also because of their standards, how they acted in times of fitna. You spoke about the scholars. Is it a sign of the end of time that there is so much suspicion of them and that people around the world feel abandoned by them? In every era, there are people who would be given the title of scholars when they're not, and there would be people who are truly scholars and they are not recognized. And sometimes you would have a person with very little knowledge, but they have this sixth sense of knowing the truth, knowing al-haq. and they feel that something is wrong with the scholar, but I can't really know what it is, but there's a feeling that there's something wrong going on. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us two things. If you follow them, you will never go astray. And that is the Qur'an and Hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that will be the yardstick which you measure everything with. If a certain scholar is abiding by Qur'an and Hadith, that's a good sign. If not, then it's better to stay away and avoid such a scholar. Islam has not told us to blind follow anyone. Yes, we do respect scholars, but that respect does not mean that we shut up our minds and just follow blindly whatever is said and done. وَكُلُّكُمْ آتِيهِ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ فَرْدًا. You will stand in front of Allah alone. The scholar who you followed will not save you on the Day of Judgment, who will be of no avail to you. You are responsible as a Muslim for searching for the haqq. Searching for the truth is not only a duty on the non-Muslim. We always say these non-Muslims are not looking for the truth. We forget about ourselves. Within Islam, you have to search for the truth. If Allah Azza wa Jal wanted, He could have made one opinion in everything in fiqh. There could be one solid opinion in everything. But Allah Azza wa Jal made fiqh the way it is. You have 2 opinions here, 3 opinions there, 4 here. Ash-Shawkani says that there's 80 opinions in this ayah. Why? So that you will struggle with your minds to find the truth. You have to practice jihad of the mind. So it's a struggle even for you as a Muslim. It's a struggle for everyone to find the truth. And no one can carry you by the hand to a Jannah. وَالَّذِينَ اهْتَدَوْا زَادَهُمُ اللَّهُ هُدًى. The ones who look for guidance, Allah will guide them. You have to look for it. You have to search for huda. If you do so, then Allah will help you. But if you sit back and expect to be spoon-fed everything by your shaykh, it doesn't work that way.